You're watching KHQA Overtime with Chris Dewar, brought to you by Con Communications.
Well, this is Saturday, November the 3rd, and you have indeed entered Overtime, where tonight we're running a very special promotion for you. If you promise to stay here and watch us in this late hour, I promise to give you 1 extra hour of sleep in return. No charge on that. And why wouldn't you want to watch tonight? This is the weekend that is the gateway to greatness in Illinois high school football. The week your favorite team can punch its ticket to the state quarterfinals. And to be brutally honest with all of you, given the collective draw for our local 5 remaining teams coming in, I spent much of this week fearing that we could potentially lose every last one of them today, because this was not going to be easy business by any stretch of the imagination. I am happy to report that there are still some teams left playing football in the land of Lincoln. So let's dig into the who and the how, and we'll start with undefeated Central Southeastern at home against undefeated Cerro Gordo. This round has been a bit of a bane for Brad Dixon's crew. They've exited the ramp twice in the second round, the week of number 11. So today, Central Southeastern opting for a good start, and this little pooch kick ends up being a disastrous start for Cerro Gordo. The ball comes free. Andrew Shake is at the other end of it for Central Southeastern. They take over, get a short field, and it's Dalton Hubner going in to make it a 7-0 lead for the Panthers just that quickly. We come back. Cerro Gordo's first possession of the game. Offensively, the ball is going to pop free again, and again it will be Central Southeastern to take advantage. Again, the short field works out fantastically for Douglas Weiss, the hustler right here, getting his way into the end zone, putting the hand down, and he is fired up. Why not? His team's up 13-0, just 6 minutes into the game. However, you knew these guys would respond. CGB with Steve Isbell, who is just phenomenal. Great running back right here. From 27 yards out, makes it a 13-6 game. More Douglas Weiss, though, in the second quarter. It's his show, working hard for the first down. Yep, stretching his way past the line, past the sticks to get that done. 4th and 6 for Central. Weiss is going to do it again, breaking out and scoring this time from 25 yards away. The Panthers' lead extended to 19-6 at that point. CGB would not go away in this one. 4th and 6 for the Broncos. They're in a tight spot, but they would score through the air this time from 15 yards out to cut Central Southeastern's lead to 19-13. CSE forced the punt, so the Panthers desperately need to stop before halftime. They would get one, and get one neatly from their entire defensive line. Drew Miller and company, everybody in on this one. You can't even see the numbers. It's a swarm, and it works out well. The Panthers lead 19-13 at the half, and they would get the ball to start the third period. And this was the drive that essentially won the game. Bobby Kelts had a huge day tonight. Big run right here, had over 100 yards on the day. It's a 9-minute drive, and it would end with Douglas Weiss's third touchdown of the day. Central Southeastern's defense would also make that stand up. It would be Jacob Muddy Waters coming up with a phenomenal, you don't see many linemen with this kind of skill set, knocking the ball out of the air, grabbing it as well, and picking up the interception. And that's just a Bobby Kelts for the score. He would go in and make it a 33-13 lead at that point. CGB trying to come up with anything in this ball game to try to salvage it, being down 20 at that point. However, the Central Southeastern defense, like a shark in the water, feeding frenzy, and that was it. Little victory formation right here, and Brad Dixon and company have reason to celebrate. The second round jinx is over for the Panthers. They win, they move on, and they are going to hit the road by virtue of that 33-13 victory. Up next for Central Southeastern, a long road trip to DuQuoin, who was a winner today over Bismarck Henning 7-6. But that means Brad Dixon's team is alive and kicking, and in the state quarterfinals, what's better than that?
I told him before the game, I said, I'm sick of talking about Williamsville and in the second round of the playoffs. I said, let's go out and get rid of all those thoughts and all those things that we have to answer, and let's go out and play football on our home field. And can't be more proud of our guys the way we battled today. And offensively, holy cow, to have the ball for 20 minutes in the second half, so it's unbelievable.
Last year after the Williamsville game, that's all we've talked about since. Off season, throughout the season, all we've talked about is Williamsville. It's finally nice to get over that hump and take it to the next level, as we've been talking about.
Tears coming to my eyes, just about a way to sum it up. It's a feeling I can't really explain.
Quarterfinals, that's something we've never done. I think these guys have wanted it, and I wanted it for them. Just because of how hard they worked, and now they're there, and hopefully, you know, I think you saw it there in our huddle. I didn't have to say a word. Our seniors stepped up, and they're excited, and you know, from this point on, I think anything goes, and we're going to come ready to play DeCoin next week, and get on the bus, and it's going to be a fun atmosphere for our entire community.
They were so excited today in Camp Point, they busted out the skidder. What's better than that? Let's take you to Illini West today. Huge task after fumbling the opening kickoff, or at least allowing a pooch kick up. Illini West is trying to make something happen here defensively. That's Cale Carlisle with a big stop. However, right to the air in this one go the Comets, and they're good. Lucas Bloom on the screen pass, 11 yards away from pay dirt. He punches that home. It's 7-0 in this game before Illini West could even blink. Next possession, more to come. This from the big fella, Logan Giggle, and he was not eliciting any laughs. He is a big, powerful man. Made it a 14-0 lead. More in the first half. The Comets merciless in this stanza as Logan Podowitz takes that in on the catch, the slant pattern. It's 20-0 at the half. Second half, I tell you what, Illini West defense played pretty darn well. Ben Giddings right here with a stop as well. One shot right here to get back in this ball game, and it looked like the Chargers had done so. Brody Gronwald with this fantastic run of 61 yards, which would have cut the lead to 20-6 at that point. 2-point conversion would have made it 20-8. We never got to that point. Illegal formation was called. Illini West never mustered anything else akin to offense on the day. The Chargers' fine season comes to an end to a phenomenal Clifton Central team. 28-0 was your final on that one. Clifton Central can play some defense. How about the Macomb Bombers? As we slide on up to Class 4A, we take you to Peoria tonight. They're down 2 touchdowns in the third quarter, but look at this. Little chicanery from Kelly Sears. Max Krebs, the offensive coordinator. The halfback pass from Jared Rockhold to Jacob Moon goes down to the 1-yard line, and that would set up the big fella, Eli Cousins, on his rumble in for the score. That cuts PND's lead to 27-21. But unfortunately for the Bombers, PND had some offensive weapons in this one, and one of them was Andy Shadid, who's going to go and go and go. 25 yards away from everyone. That kid can flat run. Extended the lead back out. Macomb's defense trying to make something happen, trying to create some kind of opportunity. This is Alema Stone with a big-time tackle for loss. Brett Taylor also wraps up his phenomenal high school career in this one, but PND too strong, too powerful in this game tonight. They end up winning and ending Macomb's run at 9-2. 41-21 was your final there. Let's take you down to Class 1A. Now we've got Concord Triopia in action. They were big underdogs coming in today against a really, really good Moweaqua Central A&M team. Started off a bit disastrously for Rich Thompson's team. Right here, ball comes loose, gives Central A&M the short field. Central A&M, by the way, just a huge 1A team. 2 300-pounders on the front line. They'd use it to good effect right here. They also run that strange system where you really never know who's running the ball at once. 4 guys running at the line of scrimmage. This time it's the quarterback in from 20 yards away. First quarter score, 7-0 in favor of Central A&M. But the Trojans defense would come to life in this one. Great work right there as they start snuffing things out. Blake Richardson, and there's Derek Shoney in the middle of things. All-stater, showing you exactly why. That sets up this from 1 yard out. It's T-Hud, Tanner Huddleston, putting his team back into the scoring column in this one. 2-point conversion would fail at that point. 7-6 in favor of Moweaqua Central A&M. Defense stood up strong from that point forward. Phenomenal. Andy Phelps coordinates like no one else. Great pickoff right there by Tanner Huddleston, taking away potentially points from Central A&M. And then it would be the offense in the third quarter for Triopia coming to life behind that young, rebuilt offensive lineman without Jordan Smith. These guys didn't need him today on their rumble. Derek Shoney just doing what he does, fighting hard for yards. He's going to show you he's got heart. Absolutely playing with a heavy heart this season, and he has certainly shown that he is one tough customer. More to come in this one. This time it's Tanner Huddleston pushing this drive further. Remember, Triopia down 1 point at this point, trying to make something happen with their offense, and it would be Cody Curry who would make the magic happen in this one. Very next play, Curry coming up, taking the inside give, and he is going to get on his horse and into the end zone as the Trojans take the lead at 12-7. Tell you what, unbelievable effort for the defense today. Unbelievably gritty upset effort for the Trojans as they end up working the Don Kemp Field magic today. They end up beating Central A&M, one of the bigger upsets of the year, as they beat the Okaw Valley Conference powerhouse today. One of 2 they'd like to beat on their way to state. Triopia gets it done, winning today by the final count in this one of 12-7. Unbelievable day for Rich Thompson's Trojans as they get the win, take the victory formation, and call it a day. Up next for them, they're going on the road, and they've got a very difficult task again. But if you can win today, you got to feel like if you're the Trojans, you can win against everybody. This is not a misprint. This is not a basketball score. Leroy actually set a new IHSA record for most single game points scored in a playoff game with 78 today. By the way, that combined score of 78-46 is the third most points scored in any IHSA game ever. Leroy beats Flanagan 78-46. I can guarantee you with Triopia and that ball control offense, Leroy isn't scoring 78 points next week. We'll see how that shakes down. Also today, heartbreaking action for the Jacksonville Crimsons. We're going to try and show you highlights of this one later in the show. Basically what it comes down to is Jacksonville had a 10-point lead with 4 minutes left. They had a 7-point lead with 1 minute 15 left. Sacred Heart Griffin pulls off a couple of miracles, gets back, forces overtime. SHG scores. They get the first possession in OT. They score. They take a 7-point lead. Jacksonville comes back and scores. 2-point conversion fails. Again, we're going to try and show you highlights of this unbelievable instant classic game coming up in just a bit. And we're just getting warmed up because there's great news for the Jacksonville volleyball team. They are headed back to the state for the first time in a long time. Jalen Keene leading the way tonight down at Salem as she ends up with 16 kills. Jacksonville headed to state. They will play against Richmond Burton in the state semifinals on Friday. Congratulations to those girls. Unbelievable season just keeps continuing for the Crimsons. The news also pretty darn good as we had some great showings in state cross country on both sides of the river. We'll start with Missouri today. The best showing of all comes in Class 2 on the Missouri side. Remember, Kylie Conroe hasn't run before this season. My goodness, she finishes 7th in the state today. Bowling Green representing, as it always does on the boys' side, Philip Loggeman finishing 12th as well. Those are fantastic showings. Also, really strong showings at the Class 1 level from Marion County. Your leaders on the day, Kaylin Spratt, who wraps up a fine career finishing 56th. Brian Tucker leading the way for Marion County. The boys as a team finished 15th overall. Tucker today finishing 97th, so a very good showing there. And in Illinois, congratulations to a number of the luminaries you've heard us talk about all season. Luke Watson from Quincy Notre Dame, the local today, finishing 29th overall. Just missed a top 25 finish as he came in a pack and was just kind of at the end of it. Jack Cavett from Macomb on the boys' side finishing 52nd. On the girls' side, Karen Paisley with a phenomenal run today. Ends up in the top 50 today for Macomb. Congratulations to all the local runners. And Haley McNay showing up in a really strong 3A field. Congratulations as well to all those runners working hard this season, deserving the credit. And we certainly appreciate all you've done. And we're not even close to scratching the surface here. When we come back, we look ahead to Monday's Missouri District Championship football action with a couple of nice wins to tell you about. That's rare these days on the local college football front. It's all coming up next.
You're watching KHQA Overtime with Chris Dewar. Brought to you by Con Communications.
And welcome back, everybody. And it only seems like we have some manner of high school football playoff game every day of the week around here these days. Not that that is necessarily a bad thing. Monday, though, is, of course, Missouri District Championship night. And for the South Shelby Cardinals, who were the last team standing last year at this time, there's a certain level of deja vu in having the road to the Dome run headlong through Huntsville, Missouri, and the West Tran Hornets.
We got to stop the quarterback mostly. He rushed for over 1,800 yards. We just got to be really physical with him and got to make him, I don't know, I guess get underneath their skin kind of and just let them know that we're there.
I mean, they're kind of the same type of style. They got a running quarterback, that Jacoby kid, that'll hurt you if you don't make open field tackles, and they like to throw the ball down the field. They get after you on defense, so it's kind of the same type of West Rand team that we've seen the last 3 years, and guess what? We're kind of the same type of South Shelby team they've seen the last couple of years.
Right down to the fact that the Cardinals are once again peaking at exactly the right time, which is particularly true on offense, especially when you consider that this year's collection of running backs might even dwarf the production of last year's model.
You know what, our running game has picked up lately, and I tell you what, Trace Windsor's done a great job. He's improved each week, but Alex Blackford, our senior, has really stepped up the last few weeks and been running the ball hard, got good vision. You know, I think he's playoff ready.
It's just been basically a perfect season, you know. I came out last year and stood behind Sean Bertrand, so I didn't get a lot of reps. So to come out this year and have the season I had behind such a great line and have Blackford and Teal help out is just basically a perfect situation.
The whole team has came together and we're just working as one machine.
I'm really impressed with your offensive line, you know, given how young they are. And we knew those guys were going to be good this year, but how does that make your job easier? When you look at what they do, how good are those guys?
Actually, they're really good, I mean, given their age, like you said, but I don't know, they do their job. They know what to do. They've been trained well, and they just do a really good job.
For a world of opportunity out there for these kids. I think they realize it, and having been here before certainly helps to know what's in front of you.
Yeah, you know what? District championship sitting right there for us. It's a lot harder to win the district championship these days, going down all the way to the quarterfinals to win it. And I think the kids realize it. They always step up this time of year, and they're looking forward to it.
If you guys play your best football, there's no telling how far this thing can go, is there?
I say if we play our best football, we'll be staying in the dome again, but that's all you can hope for.
Well, for the Hannibal Pirates, conversely, the road to glory involves a bloody rampage of revenge as Mark St. Clair's squad seeks not only victory but atonement Monday night at home against the only team to beat them this year. That is, of course, Helias.
Week 9, Hannibal versus Helias. For the Pirates, the victory that could have been. Scratch that. The victory that should have been.
We're all pretty fired up about it still. We all didn't play very good. We feel like we should have beat them.
I think that's what bothers us the most, that we know we had to win. We just gave it to them towards the end of the game.
And Coach says every day that the only team that can beat us is us, and that game really proves it.
A 12-10 halftime lead for the Pirates became nothing more than a footnote once Hannibal committed 3 second-half turnovers. Helias capitalized through the air to the tune of 275 passing yards on the night. But for this second go-around, the Pirates plan to limit that prosperity, starting up front.
D-line, we need to get a little bit more pressure on the quarterback. Don't give him so much time to throw. Just get in his face.
If we get good pressure on him this week, he's not going to be able to throw the ball like that. We're going to get our hands up, we're going to bat him down, and we're going to eliminate that game too.
We've got to make them, do things they don't want to do. We can't let them get into a rhythm. We've got to dictate some of that flow. So, basically we just need to play Hannibal football. We don't have to do anything special. We just have to play our game.
And to have the chance to play Hannibal football at least one more night at Porter Stadium, especially for a heated rematch, could prove to be the game changer the Pirates didn't have 2 weeks ago.
It's great that we've done our job all season long and got the right to earn 3 playoff games here.
It's huge. We got our home crowd here. We got everybody.
It's my last night to play under the lights at Porter ever, and for it to be against Helias and to get a rematch, that means a lot.
Nothing like home field advantage. After 2 straight games on the road, Illinois College trying to take advantage. This is one of the better fake punts you will ever see. Unfortunately for Garrett Campbell's team, it was called back today due to an illegal formation, but this thing went 75 yards. We thought it was going to set up Illinois College very well to open this game. Unfortunately, it would go the other direction. By the way, Illinois College has never beaten Cornell. They hadn't played in years, but they were 0-15 since Cornell rejoined the Midwest Conference. Today, Juan Flores to Britt Connor gave Cornell a 7-0 lead. Then the defense would take over just a bit for IC. That's Tim Denny, the route product, with a beautiful hit right there. The offense would take back over, and Michael Bates would go to work. Kevin Wallace, have a day. The receiver, who you will see here right along the sidelines, had 183 receiving yards. Huge day for him. That sets up this. Cecil Brimage using those feet of his and that unbelievable balance to take it into the end zone from 27 yards away. It would be a 6-7 trailing IC team at that point. 2-point conversion, though, as Michael Bates finds Cullen Dooling, makes it 8-7. Eventually, the offense comes roaring to life, as it often does for IC. Yes, sing it, lady. The Blue Boys get the win today. They improved to 8-1 on the season with a 50-28 trouncing of Cornell, first ever in school history. How about the Western Illinois Leathernecks at home today, taking on UNI? I'm not going to sugarcoat you. This right now, the Leatherneck offense is non-existent. Right here, down 9-0 already. The Necks give up this touchdown pass to Sam Rohr of 23 yards, and then Western's offense gives one back as well. It's Garrett Scott with the pick 6 right here, and boy, it just got uglier from there as Western, the offense, doesn't score a touchdown for the 4th straight game and for the 6th time in 7 games. Boy, Western's got some things to figure out offensively. I know the injuries are bad, but right now it's just tough to watch. Western loses 42-0 was your final on this one. Meanwhile, we've got more for you tonight. Let's talk about a couple of scores. We've got Truman State getting beat by Missouri Southern today, 34-10, and Culver Stockton taking a payday game against Austin Peay. 56-0 was your final, as was expected, as the Wildcats have a tough one today. How about Quincy University on Senior Day taking on Kentucky Wesleyan? Scoreless first quarter, the Hawks defense steps up big on the opening drive. It's Daniel Lee right here, flying in for the quarterback sack and kind of setting the tone with some nastiness. A few plays later, more quarterback sack action as everybody was kind of getting into the act. There's one for the road as Juan Cibrian gets the sack right there. Then QU would take over after a punt. It's Nick Lonergan looking for Ladarian Shelby. The short play picks up a first down. Later, the Jacksonville product, Lonergan going go deep to the deep right into the camera right here, hooking up with Justin Dickens as he scared the Dickens out of them. Big pickup right there, sets up Mr. Lonergan, showing off the footwork he had at Jacksonville. Touchdown on the quarterback keeper. Hey, guess what? Quincy University gets a big win today at home, 35-27 over Kentucky Wesleyan. Second win of the season, second win of the Tom Pagic era. A couple of basketball scores. Yes, basketball season is already alive and kicking. It would be Culver Stockton going on the road to Hannibal and winning today. Marshawn Norris with 20 points, 6 dimes in that one. On the women's side of things, though, HLG gets the split as the Hannibal LaGrange Lady Trojans get a big day from Ashley Spencer in the win over Culver Stockton. One more for you. Southeastern Community College improves 2-0 on the season as they beat up on Highland 71-57 was your final. And the John Wood women at home today, taking on, in this one, Central Methodist University's JV team. Norm Rodriguez's squad going to work. Breanne Hawthorne on the baseline finds a wide open Dakota Flessner. Nice to see her back and healthy with a bad knee last year. Skipped out. Nice to see her back at home. Knocks down the jumper, made it 32-22 John Wood. Later, more to come from Miss Sangster right here, who had a breakout night tonight. John Wood with a big win today. 68-57 was your final there. And we'll have more for you on this big overtime show coming up next. Welcome back, everybody, and 'tis the time here on Overtime when we honor our Con Communications Connection of the Month. Now, we had lots of spirited voting for the October nominees, but in the end, once again, it was a landslide in favor of a Hannibal product. This time, Hannibal's Clay Cunningham, as he took top honors for that phenomenal header we showed you numerous times last month. Hannibal, we love the fact that you're dominating things, but nobody else is ever going to win. America's hometown coming to the table big time. By the way, Clay doesn't win anything except our esteem and respect for winning the honors, but Miss Peggy Kleckner does. She gets a great prize package just for voting in the Cons Communications contest on our website, and we do it at the end of every month. So congratulations to Peggy. That prize package coming your way. Thanks for voting all. Next month, your chance to do so. And let's start next month on the right foot right now, and we're starting again with soccer in Northeast Missouri, but this time it is the Canton Tigers, and this time it is Johnny Lee with his game-winning penalty kick from Thursday night as Canton took out Christian High School in PKs. Johnny Lee stepping up big time to provide his program its second straight district title. This is a program that didn't even exist 10 years ago. So congratulations to the Canton Tigers. And Johnny Lee, again, will have 4 more nominees for the month of November. But if Johnny's your favorite, you'll have a chance at the end of the month to go on and stuff the ballot box in his favor. And if you do so, you've got a chance to win a fantastic prize package from us.